This was transition line and starting point, transition line and starting point to begin individuality. A first immigration into heavenliness. Yeah, from this little world, it is that how they are going to climb up in a first immigration into heavenliness. So this is the first immigration. I don't know how many stages of immigration we'll have to cross. But the first immigration is quite significant that way, that you are going into the heavenly state because of that. For all who cross into that brilliant sphere of greater life, all those who cross into that brilliant sphere, these are the kinsmen of our earthly race. They have made small world, they are the managers of our property and finances, and they have made kinsmen of our earthly race. These regions border on our mortal state. So that is the first immigration. That's the first immigration from the mortal state to the higher state, bordering on the thing. That's the first immigration. This wider world, our greater movements gives. Now that is the description of the greater world. Now it is because of that greater world, that wider world, that we can have sweeping movements, large actions, big plans and objectives in our existence. This wider world, our greater movements gives. So it is the wider world which gives to us our greater movement. Because of that, we are able to do great and mighty things. A strong formation builds our growing self. Obviously, its creatures are our brighter replica. Now, this is a little strange kind of a description, but very rich description, very meaningful also. This wider world, its strong formations build our growing self. No problem with that. But its creatures of this white world, the creatures of this white world are our brighter replicas. See, they are not, we are not replicas, they are replicas. These creatures of the wider world are replicas. Replicas of whom? Our brighter replicas. When we shall become brighter, then they will look like replicas of us. See, had this brightness not been there, they would have been wrong. When we shall become bright, then they will look as our bright replicas. Duplicates, you see. But actually now we are far removed away from that. When we grow, when we expand, we make progress, then we become brighter. And that brightness of ours will become a kind of a replica for them. Its creatures are our brighter replicas. Complete types, we only initiate. We start, we progress, and therefore they complete. These brighter replicas will complete our progress in that sense, you see. And are securely what we strive to be. See, when we become bright, that is our striving. Our striving is to become bright. And when we have become bright, then they are secure there, you see, in that sense. It's a little complex kind of a construction, but quite interesting, I will say. As if thought out, eternal characters, entire, not pulled as we by contrary tide. We are pulled by contrary tide, this way, that way, all the while. But they are not. As if thought out eternal characters, they follow the unseen leader in the heart. These creatures, brighter replicas, they follow the leader in the heart. They go by what is there inside them. They follow the unseen leader in the heart. That is our soul. I will not say our soul is alright, but they don't have psychic being. We have psychic being. So they follow the unseen leader in the heart. Their lives obey the inner nature's law. Well, that is their beauty, that is their character, that is their greatness. They entirely go by the inner nature's law. There is kept grandeur store, a hero's mold, The soul is the watchful builder of its fate. It is the soul who really builds up the fate, our watchful. The soul is the watchful builder of its fate, of its own fate. None is a spirit indifferent and inert over there. Inert. They choose their side, those creatures. They choose their side. They see the God they adore. What they are adoring Him, they actually see their divinity within Him. It is not just an image. They see the real living power there. See. They choose the side, okay. They see the God they adore. So we go and worship in a temple and say Ganesha, Shankara, Vishnu, whatever it is. But then you don't see the God behind them, you see. But they do see that God, you see. The power is there. They choose the side, they see the God they adore. A battle is joined between the true and false. Now, because they see these sides, they see both true and false behind this creation. They are observing both the aspects, the dark and the bright, the ugly and the beautiful, the evil and the good, the true and the false. They observe all the sides together, and therefore there is a kind of a battle, a struggle between the two. A battle is joined between the true and false. A pilgrimage sets out to the divine light. So therefore, through this battle, as if by winning this battle, you are carrying out a pilgrimage towards the divine light, towards higher possibility. There is evil, there is good also. The battle is there. You win the battle and make a progress, make a progress, make a progress, you see, towards divine light. For even ignorance, there aspires to know. Obviously, there is that element of aspiration, even in ignorance. Ignorance is a great advance, great progress over inconscience. Inconscience. It's a great progress. It may not have full knowledge, but then that does not mean that it lacks aspiration. The aspiration may be limited, may get easily masked, may get easily veiled or covered up, you see, like that. But then that aspiration is there always, even in ignorance, even the smallest creature. For even ignorant, there aspires to know and shines with the luster of a distant star. Distant star. Obviously, it is that ignorance is so far away from the true light, the source of light, the star, and shines with the luster of a distant star. There is a knowledge in the heart of sleep, and nature comes to them as a conscious force. Them, those creatures of this world, of this greater life, and nature comes to them as a conscious force. But then they see both the evil and the good, the false and the true. And ideal, because they live in the ideal world, not in the real idea, you see, again. An ideal is their leader and their king. They have got some kind of an, yeah, well, it's good to be idealistic. The idealistic does not mean imagination alone. It is a kind of a driving force which takes you forward and upward also. Idealism really is a driving force which will lift you up to a higher height, aspiring to the monarchy of the sun, aspiring to the monarchy of the sun. Sun is the only king there. There is no other light apart from sun. Therefore, he is the monarch. Therefore, he is the monarch. No borrowed light, no moonshine. It is pure light of the sun itself. Therefore, it's the monarchy of the sun. Aspiring to the monarchy of the sun, they call in truth for their high government. They, these creatures, they call in truth for their high government. Hold her incarnate in the daily, her truth. They want the truth to incarnate in the daily act, function in the daily act. Hold her incarnate in the daily act and fill their thoughts with her inspired voice. Her again for truth. Fill their thoughts with her inspired voice. Let her voice speak and fill the thoughts or ideas, the conception, and shake the lives into her breathing form. Till in a sun gold Godhead they too share. So that's the constant aspiration of these creatures. They are calling this truth, aspiring to the monarchy of the sun. They call in truth. They are inviting truth. For what? For their high government. Let that truth govern their life. Hold her incarnate in their daily and their dynamism, their daily routine things. Let these be governed by that truth. And fill the thoughts with her inspired voice and save the lives. So, thought, life, everything is to be governed by her and save the life into a breathing form. Form also is till in a sun gold Godhead they too share. Till in her sun gold Godhead they too share. It's a very, very beautiful line again, you see. Till in her. I will call it the tactile. Sun gold. I am. Godhead talking. They too share. Till in her sun gold Godhead they too share. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. They till in. Truth about her. Her is for truth, of course. You see, you can call it till in her sun gold. Till in her sun gold Godhead they too share. But I think the better reading will be till as a monosyllabic I am. Till in a sun gold. As a headless line. As a headless line, it becomes more pleasing, I thought, no? Till in a sun gold got it, did too share. Or you want to add till in a sun gold. I will give more emphasis to till.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I will give more emphasis to till. Therefore, it becomes a monosyllable.
Yeah.
It becomes a monosyllable, you see. Till in her sun God hit day to share. Last is spondy, ceiling, or to the truth of darkness they subscribe. So that alternative is there, you see, these creatures, because true and false, they are seeing them that thing. Or to the truth of darkness. You see, they are not subscribing to darkness, but to the truth of darkness. What that darkness is there for? What the night is there for? What is its function? The false is there for what? Death is there for what? It is that they want to understand and live in. Or to the truth. I will not now put this one, or to the truth. I will not put this or as a monosyllable. I will simply, or to the truth of darkness they subscribe. We can do. Or to the truth. It can be. Or to the truth of darkness they subscribe, you see. Whether for heaven or hell, they must wage war. That is the greatness of these creatures of greater life. It's immaterial. Because this is the reality of existence here. This is a world of ideal, not of real idea. So in this ideal world, you have got the opposite, non-ideal things also, and you have to take care of them also. Whether for heaven or hell, they must wage war. Warriors of good, they serve a shining cause. Or are evil soldiers in the pay of sin. That's the war. Warriors of good, they serve a shining cause. Agents of God, warriors of God, are evil soldiers in the pay of sin. So, because they have to serve both, they are in this world here. For evil and good, and equal tenor keep. Wherever knowledge is, ignorance are twin. When ignorance and knowledge are twins, good and evil are together. Because this is not the world of full knowledge, this is not the world of full ignorance also. There is a partial knowledge, there is a partial ignorance. Wherever knowledge is, ignorance are twin. This is what happened. Knowledge has subscribed himself, has accepted twinship with ignorance for a certain purpose here. So therefore, evil and good are bound to be present there. And these greater creatures of life, they are waging a war against these possibilities. All powers of life towards their Godhead tend. Yeah, all powers, good or evil. In the wideness and daring of that air, each builds its temple and expands its curse. Each builds its temple and expands its cult. And sin too there is a divinity. And sin too there is a divinity. There are worshippers. Actually, there is a Puranic description. Say Narad, Vishnu's great bhakta, he had the full access to every part of this creation. He could go anywhere he wanted to go. You see. So on one particular occasion, he visited Patal, the lowest world in this creation. Patal, the lowest, neither world, you see, neither world. And then people asked him when he went up there to paradise, what kind of world is that? What kind of world is that? They asked. And then he gives a description. In that world, the sons of Diti, the mother who makes division, separation. The sons of Diti means all evil forces, bad forces, all those things are there. They are worshipping the inconscient Vishnu. Vishnu is there in his great sleep, and the sons of Diti are offering their prayers and worship constantly to him. So everywhere that thing is there. I mean, he may be inconscient Vishnu, I may be that, but still I am worshipping Vishnu in a certain form, you see. So this sin too there is a divinity. They worship the divine also there. You see. So now of course this sin here, not in the theological sense, Christian theological sense. You see. It is the evil separation from good, from beauty.